Hello everyone, welcome to another Q&A session where we'll be learning more about the projects in the Partisia Blockchain ecosystem. I'm Amanda from Partisia Blockchain and today I'm joined by Oleg, who is the co-founder of Weezi. And in this session we'll be learning more about Weezi and why they choose to build on Partisia Blockchain. So before we start, would you mind just sharing a little bit about your background and your role within the team?
Of course. Thanks for having me, Amanda. I'm co-founder of Weezi and some recent developments which I think we would be sharing today.
Yeah.
Um, Prior to blockchain, I used to come from like a beverage industry, so working for companies like Coke, Pepsi, Red Bull, Unilever, and
Oh,
whatnot. And eventually, end of 2017, we started our venture arm and then a DeFi asset management division in mid 2019. And since back then, we started building a lot of automation tools for ourselves, like the automated accounting, voting systems for our clients, and so on. So eventually, we ended up building uh, a lot of tools that we sort of uploaded to the external platform so that people could come in, spin out their own DAOs, in essence, and that's how Weezy appeared.
great, sounds good. So what is the main objective of Weezi and what are you trying to address?
Right. So Weezy is literally a platform that allows people to spin out their DAOs for asset management in crypto. And there's various verticals there. We started with DeFi tools. If you wanted to have a DAO, collectively manage assets, within DeFi. The other vertical started as we call it a venture template. So basically, when people wanted to collect their crypto assets together to either invest, in syndicates or some pools, or even in some real world assets. Like we have a couple of cases when people actually bought real estate in Thailand or started a karting sporting sort of place in Turkey, also just using some of those cases. And then the third and last pivot that became quite big actually is the project that is now called SecondLane, and that is in essence a secondary market for SAFTs, equity locked tokens, like for the advisors and teams, and that marketplace allows people to either sell them or, of course, to buy into some of those early locked deals.
Great, sounds good. And so how were you first sort of introduced to Partisia blockchain and why did you choose to build on the blockchain?
We followed Partisia for quite a while, and of course, there's different solutions,
Mhm.
but we got pretty excited with the zero knowledge technology, especially for one of the features that is quite critical for SecondLane, especially, and that is verifying the clients without disclosing their identities. And then the process of dispute management in case there's a dispute on the deal that happened in the past, but you have to deliver it in sometime in the future.
Yeah,
So for those elements, you need transparency while preserving privacy to make sure that you know who your counterparties are, but that they're legit, that everything is connected and correct. But at the same time, the buyers and the sellers are not disclosed to the market unless there is a dispute, and then of course there's procedures to that leads to litigation if there's any case like that, and that of course cannot be done without this technology.
great, sounds good. And has there been sort of any challenges that you've come across or challenges that you're looking out for sort of this year?
Well, apparently the markets are not so good for pretty much any project right now in the field, right? But it's good for the builders because like it's pretty much quiet. People are not forced with the market dynamics, trying to catch the next wave and whatnot. But at the same time, of course, there's quite tough competition in terms of people, resources, and since we are literally walking in the technological breakthroughs, because the stuff that we're building, nobody has ever done it. So we're pretty much creating it for the first time, and so that is on the tech side creates quite some challenges. But it does look like we're a few, weeks down the road to our second release. I mean, the first was completed pretty well. The second release is, let's hope like 2, 3 weeks down the road, we're going to have it. And then there's going to be the third and the last stage, and we're up and running.
Right, sounds good. I think that leads nicely onto our next question, which is what are your current project statuses?
Right. So when we started cooperating with Partisia, we stated that there's 3 stages in our project. The first, and of course, all of the stages they are basically divided by the amount of functionality that you would find on the platform. So the first stage apparently was literally just to sort of roll out the platform with bids on the platform. Basically posting your sell offers, making bids, making sure that the transactions are there and so on. And that has been done. So which is pretty cool, I guess. Again, you could literally just visit secondlane.io and see how the things are running. And the second stage that we're working on right now is about the dispute management system and the messaging system on the platform to make sure that, again, your privacy is preserved, but you can communicate with counterparties. And then if there's any dispute, there is a very specific procedure for the parties to deal with it, right? Again, starting with just mere communication and escalating it to disclosing the information on the buyers to go into litigation. And third, but last thing is related to this on-chain client onboarding, and that involves KYC and verification of assets. So that part is taking more time and is like more intensive in terms of the development. So for that, of course, we would need probably a few months to finish it off.
Great, sounds good. And in terms of like long term, is there anything else we could sort of expect in your roadmap?
So yeah, so if we look at the business, right? I mean, we're talking about the secondary market in Web3, meaning that it's all about investments, but investments when somebody is trying to resell their assets that they hold at the moment. So it's locked tokens or the SAFs or equity to third parties, or third parties actually searching for those deals, right? So this is a huge market. Only our co-founders, so we're 5 co-founders, so 4 co-founders are actually the OTC brokers from like years ago. So all of them collectively, they've transacted over $500 million worth of business. And right now, all of this is coming to the platform right now. So with what we're trying to achieve, of course, is to get a significant share in this market, because we believe that with the current regulation that is coming up, you need licenses to do this sort of business, and we do have them via our partners in the US market with a company called Bosonic Digital, with a partner in Switzerland who's opening up Europe for us. And towards the end of the year, we hope that we'll open up Hong Kong as well, and the APAC region, and as well as UK. And so that's on the licensing part. And then, of course, the volumes, we believe that if you look at the reports of notorious players like Citigroup or Boston Consulting Group, and so on, they are very, probably even overly optimistic about the growth of the digital assets, apparently, and then the secondary market around it, going close to like $500 billion in value, in the coming 5 to 7 years. So yeah, being pretty much the first on-chain solution to actually tackle those, looks like an interesting bet for us. So that's why we're trying to get a significant share there.
Yeah, of course. Sounds good. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we covered in terms of the questions. What would be the best way for everyone to keep up to date on your project? and what you're working on?
We have a Twitter, and we have Telegram channel, and then I mean all of those links you can find on our website, which is secondlane.io. And yeah, please welcome. Would be great to see you there, and look for your questions. And yeah,
Great. Thank you so much for your time today.
thanks, Amanda.